I've met up with Dietmar here at the 24th World Energy Congress. Dietmar, you're leading Siemens here in the Middle East. We're here at the World Energy Congress with Siemens Gas and Power. They've got 4 key topics that they're talking about. Securing energy supply, making energy greener, managing complexity, digitalization. I'd like to, how do these play out here in this region? So if I look at the challenges and the opportunities around here, when we talk about securing energy supply, how do you approach that here at Siemens?
I mean, this region is a very vibrant region. This region is a very demanding region also because you have all kinds of extremes in the region. You have countries which are at the very low end, they have to build up the electricity infrastructure complete, and we have on the other side, we are here today in the capital of the UAE, in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
We have the UAE, which is leading maybe in the region, maybe in the world, the energy transformation also in terms of going forward with combination of renewable energy and hydrocarbon energy. So it's a very interesting region, and securing energy supply means for us that at the end of the day we adapt our offerings to the needs of the respective countries and respective customers that we have. And that means, for example, when you look at an example like Iraq, they have a very destroyed electricity infrastructure, and they need to rebuild that. They need to use their existing infrastructure, so there is rebuild of the existing infrastructure, but there's also new builds. They have a very old electricity transmission system which is more than half a century old. So that needs to be upgraded and renovated, and also they need to go into the area of collecting the money from the customers through the distribution company. So it means really building up an electricity infrastructure. And on the same side, and I make an example already on the UAE, looking here, securing energy supply is being already at a very high level, going forward in a very good energy mix, as we call it. It means also that they upgrade now systems into the very highest efficiency technologies in terms of gas. And there's a prime example, like we had just recently signed with EGA, a contract where we supply the first H-class here in the UAE. So this is the very highest efficient gas turbine technology in the world, and this will also be deployed now in the UAE. So you see the kind of extremes. It's building from scratch, but also going up to the extreme in technology.
And no one-size solution fits all, because what you're doing in Egypt, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in the UAE.
Exactly. Egypt was in the same token. I would like to mention that here, because in Egypt we also had a system that was at a very low efficiency. Then they started discussions with us, with the government. Finally we agreed, and they have now built up 45% of their capacity in terms of electricity generation. They have the most efficient gas turbine fleet, or one of the most efficient gas turbine fleets in the world now, up and running. The biggest power stations on Earth in terms of gas fired are running there. We built them in a record time of 28 months. So it's really interesting to see that, and they have built now a platform where industry can grow, and that I think is what it's all about. Electricity is a basic infrastructure, a basic need of people in the future and today already, and we are building up all these infrastructure according to the needs of the particular country, entity, or customer.
And you know, the whole team at the conference here is energy for prosperity, because without energy you don't have whatever. You can't do economic growth and education and
absolutely. That's also, I mean, we talked about Iraq, but that's also what Iraq will have at the end of the day. Once they have built up their infrastructure, prosperity will come, because industry will come there. They know I have a secure energy supply. I can build my factory, I can build my thing. It's a foundation of everything. And also the people, I mean, we live here in the Middle East, we have extreme temperatures in summer, you need aircon. I mean, people cannot live here if there is not the basic supply of electricity, otherwise they can't survive on the long term.
Now here in the region as well, obviously it's famous for fossil fuels and the food stock and whatever. Now you have a very good story with your radar in terms of making energy greener, and you increase the efficiency today and move across, and eventually we get to the no carbon future. How do you play that here with, again, the different countries have different requirements, they have different resources in the ground?
Yeah, first of all, it's about using efficiently the resources that you have.
Okay.
You have in certain countries you have certain things, and as we have mentioned already, Iraq, they have a lot of gas which is flared gas today. They can use that in order to
generate electricity.
Today they just pollute the earth and the environment with the gas they are burning. But in the future, using this flare gas, using it in gas turbines and generating electricity is much more making the energy greener already. It's not the ultimate, but that's one way to do it. Because that helps them also they are the biggest flarer in the world, to help them to come away from that. Looking now at another extreme, and that's what we have seen in Dubai now.
Yeah.
In Dubai, they are leading also with their Mohammed bin Rashid solar park, and with the strategy they have to build up renewables. They want to build up to 5 gigawatt. We are in implementation of a pilot plant for hydrogen. Hydrogen is, in our belief, a very sophisticated and a very good mechanism to store energy in the future. And you can do it in sector coupling. You can use this hydrogen for different purposes. And in Dubai we have a showcase which also will be next year at Expo 2020, where we showcase how to do that. It will be a demonstration plant, and then you can use it either to fuel cars, so you can use the gas in fuel cells, in fuel cell driven cars. You can use that gas also again to generate electricity. You can use that gas to also go into, if you are think about Africa and think about countries that have agriculture and build up, you can build urea plants with that. So you can use the hydrogen for that. You can use it also in the hydrocarbon industry. It's green hydrogen. And you can use it also, and that's maybe the more long and more sophisticated way in the future to do it. You can start to generate e-fuels, because you take sunlight, you generate hydrogen, and then you generate fuels out of that, which can again be used in normal combustion engines. And the beauty of this is that this energy is completely green. And thinking now a little bit out of the box, this could also mean that countries that are today exporting hydrocarbons and having this sunlight and having all this renewable energy, this can also mean that they are maybe in the future exporting e-fuels. Who knows? I mean, that's something that governments are thinking about. We are talking to governments on that, and that's some sophisticated way to make the energy more greener, to use sunlight to fuel the world and not generating any more carbon emissions.
Well, that's one of the things I was looking at when I was coming here, reading up on some of the stuff, is you guys do take a pretty strategic and long-term view. You have a long history in the region and the work with the Iraqi government. You know, that wasn't a tactical sale in a week, right? That was in Egypt. It was months, years of working with the government.
Consulting in Egypt, we had our first setup in the region. We had in Egypt, it's more than 100 years old, 115 if I'm not mistaken, in that range. Don't quote me on that. But in that range,
it wasn't last week.
Quite old. Iraq, we are more than 80 years. So it's something where we are proud of, because we have been in this region. We have always been here. We know about this region. We have developed with the society. We see what the society needs. We have a lot of local employees in the region. So we are in it. We are not coming just to do a project and then we walk away and say let them do whatever they want.
Hey, we've only got through 2 of the 4. We could be talking all day, because you know, gas and power. They cover the entire energy food chain, and that's just gas and power. So you use the bigger Siemens. So it's like, I bet you're a busy man.
Yeah, somehow we are, but it is also good things that we are doing. I mean, you see the impact. We do a lot of things beside the business that we are doing. We also have, I think, a lot of impact on the society. We have a corporate social responsibility, which we are also taking very serious. That means, in first instance, of course, local employment, but that also means that we are giving something back to the society. That's what we do in all these countries, helping the youth to develop, helping the youth, for example, here in UAE and in Egypt and in other countries. We have donated software which is now used at the universities to train the engineers of the future with the more sophisticated software that the Fortune 500 are using to design their products and to develop their manufacturing sites and whatever. And this is trained here in these countries. The youth are acquainted to it, and when they come from the university, they don't need to get training in the companies. They can start right away.
I was chatting with one of your colleagues yesterday, and he was telling me about with the Egypt mega project. He went off and set up a welding school.
Yeah.
And the whole health and safety standards had to be kind of written from scratch. Now the whole country took them off, and by all accounts that welding school is still going strong for all sorts of industries, right?
Absolutely. The welding sounds in the first place something strange. Not everybody would think that you need it, but there is many customers that need good welders, and there is a shortage of
if you
welders.
Look at the infrastructure
So,
around
and since we had the need also for these power stations, we set up this school, and now all the industries can benefit from that. Everybody that is in construction needs welders, and finding good welders is not easy. So this is a rare, like a rare earth. So, so at the end of the day, or rare resource, let's say it this way. So at the end of the day, this gives them also good perspectives to work in the country, but also abroad to do something meaningful for the development of the country.
All right, come from we say rising tide raises all boats, right? So
Yeah.
it's, hey, cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.